What's up, guys? Tom from Airsoft Headquarters.
Carl from the Airsoft Arena.
And welcome to part 4 of Arena and CQB tactics for Airsoft. We're going to run you through solo man movement or two-team movement. We're going to talk about how to be a good support person, how to work with rental players and how to intermingle with them to be effective. And then we're going to finish that.
Yep, pretty simple today.
Let's get to it. So first point of conversation is going to be support man. Now support man is going to be specific for two-man element or greater element that can go all the way up to like a 20-man or something like that. The idea is always basically going to be the same, where the support man is going to support whoever number 1 is. Always protect number 1. Number 1 comes first. If I were a support man, my role is going to be as close to number 1 as possible, make sure nothing happens to him. He is going to be my precious cargo. So basically I'm going to be as close as possible, either right next to him, right behind him, almost groin to butt, as close as possible. We get really friendly. So we'll basically show you some movements. First movement is going to be without swapping, so just a basic walk and how I'm going to be transitioning from left side to right side, points of dominance, making sure I'm watching specific sectors, stuff like that. And then the second movement is going to be if we reverse rules as far as me then becoming 1, Carl then becomes my support man, and show you guys that. All right, so here I am sitting behind Carl. He's going to look into a room and I'm going to be right behind his back, checking into the room behind him, making sure that Carl is nice and safe, checking his back. He's going to give you full trust. See right there, I'm going to reach back and grab Carl. He's moving a little fast for me, so me being second man, I got to let him know that he's going a little too fast and I need to play catch up. You can see it's a little different angle here. And that's all going to be up to the point man, how fast the two of you are going to move, but it's always up to the second guy, never to get left too far behind. And I switch over underneath Carl, watching a couple different sectors. Carl's looking around with his eyes. And right there we did a quick little switch, and I moved my hand back, gave him a little pat on the butt, let him know that I'm moving behind him. Here's from a different angle.
Switch.
There's the switch, and there's the pat on the back. You can always say switch as loud as you want, or you can be as quiet as you want. So as support man myself, you saw that I was moving back and forth behind Carl. And that was to make sure that I was aiming my rifle towards points of dominance or sectors of vision that I need to make sure are clear. So if anyone were to pop out, I were to cover those while Carl always looks forward. The other thing is that as I'm moving behind Carl, you notice that I am taking my rifle down behind him versus an over. Because if I were to go over, there's a much higher risk of me smacking him in the noggin, or else getting caught up somewhere in here
On my
and being just inconvened, versus going under. I'm making sure that my barrel is never pointed at him, especially if maybe I'm a couple steps away and I flag him by accident or intentionally if he's being a dick. Never really know. So just making sure I'm always going under, making sure everyone's being safe and careful. And for me, going under is just a little bit smoother to acquire any targets. That's just for me.
I would say it's the same for me. It's a lot easier for me to come under. Going over, my body position, it doesn't feel right. But down works better for me. That's just my way of doing it. That's just Hallen's way of doing it. It might work better for you the other way.
That's actually another thing that I want to bring up is high ready versus low ready. Because I know that we have disagreement on this, so this is a point to talk about.
For me, this is high ready because this is on. It's not, it's maybe a couple inches that you're moving the rifle versus some people think this is high ready, this isn't ready, you're actively engaging. That's my opinion. Not saying it's right or wrong or it's the best way, it's just my way.
Right.
Like Frank Sinatra said.
I'm in the same boat as Carl as far as a high ready, and then contact or on target, high ready, and then even go as far as a low ready down here so that the stock is still in my shoulder and I'm ready to pop up. And then a high ready is I'm pretty much on target to where I just need to come up just a little bit, and I can make some accurate shots. I know some people are going to call this a high ready. This is a pretty hard point of conversation with the tactical industry. Just do whatever you are taught to do. I know certain militaries or law enforcement departments are going to teach this as a high ready and use this within tactical situations. For us, we don't like to do this. Like, especially if you're going into certain houses that have very low roof clearance.
Door frames.
Yeah, door frames. Now, this is not a long rifle by any means, but it can easily get caught up in a door frame, which we'll go and demonstrate right now.
So I'm at this modified high ready. Whoops. Versus this. I don't get caught up.
Right.
That's just one way of doing it. Not saying it's the best way.
Especially if you try to like go into a room as a high ready. Go. Little inconvenient.
The other thing to cover is if you are the point man, the lead man in any movement, you need to be the guy who's watching in front of the element moving, so you can call out any targets if they happen. You can direct the flow of movement, and you're the guy that decides where you're going to go. One thing you'll notice when you go anywhere to play Airsoft, you'll see new players, rental players, etc., etc. A lot of people, they think they're just cannon fodder, whatnot, but you have to remember, they're here to play the same game you're playing. So why not incorporate them? You can use them to cover you, to help with objectives, whatnot. Talent?
Especially if like you are on the advancing team, there are certain points where you're just waiting for the team to come back up. So, just have fun with the younger kids. There are certain spots on the field where I have staged younger players, and me being the more advanced player, having more experience, I was actually the intentional target for the oncoming team. So I would,
make yourself bait?
Pretty much. I was pretty much the bait for the other team, and I would just lay backwards, pretending like I'm being overtaken by the enemy team, which they're not realizing that there are kids in specific corners, and so the kids being close enough, they can just bang kill the other team as they come in. And so that's just a whole lot of fun. Just high fives all around, having the kids getting worked up and enjoying themselves as well.
We don't want to be the guys, especially as experienced players, to make a newer player not have a good time, because then they won't enjoy it. They won't end up loving it as much as you do, I do, or Talon does. So just think about that. Have fun with everybody.
All right, guys, and that's it for this video. Hopefully this was educational for you guys. I wrote a script just to make sure that I did the outro, since we forgot to do the one last time. If that's okay, and that's really it. Carl, any last words of advice?
If you got any questions, comments, send them our way. We're doing our best to answer them, incorporate them into other videos, so ask. That's all you got to do.
All right. You guys take care, stay safe, stay clean. We'll see you in the next one.
Be well.